Welcome back, Nick and Lex here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a marathon lined up by Sidecar Dog, and this is called The British Invasion. And I'm super excited. There is a few bands I recognize, mostly from I did have a album that was the Forrest Gump uh double CD to the soundtrack of the movie. I guess there were a lot of tracks on there that I did listen to when I was way younger, but I never really went back. So I think I do recognize, I think, the Animals, and I think I recognize the Zombies, but I'm not sure. So that's basically it. But let's get into this. So thank you, Sidecar Dog, for sponsoring the marathon. I do appreciate it. All your support. All you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all the sponsors that are sponsoring these marathons and making it so interesting. We've gotten into a lot of like singer composer lately, a lot of folk rock, but we're also, continuing with the progressive rock and everything else. So, but I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone, for helping out with the channel. Also, the Patreon page is growing, and just the entire channel. We've reached 62,000. I can't believe it. Slowly but surely, I guess. So let's get to the songs here. We're gonna start out with the Animals. We're gonna do we gotta get out of this place. This is from the Best of Animals album. Then the Zombies, She's Not There, from Begin Here. Let's see what year this is. Wow, 65. Nice. Then Lulu, To Sir With Love, from the album To Sir With Love, 1967. Then Herman's Hermits. This is the song Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter, from Herman's Hermits Retrospective, 66. Wow, all 60s here. And then we're going to do Downtown by Petula Clark. And it says The Ultimate Petula Clark. So this is just a compilation album here. I'm sure it's also from the 60s. All this is from the 60s. So just one moment and let's get started. All right, and we're back, and let's get started with the Animals. Thank you so much and enjoy.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use in trying.
Yeah.
Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty, and one thing I know is true: you'll be dead before your time is due. I know. Watch my daddy in bed and crying. Watch his hair been turning gray. He's been working and slaving his life away. Oh yes, I know. He's been working so hard. Oh, Mom been working too, baby. Every night and day. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. 'Cause girl, there's a better life for me and you. Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty.
It reminds me a lot of The Doors. I don't know why. I guess I haven't listened to a lot of 60s music. I mean, yes, whatever we've done on the channel, but like Blood, Sweat and Tears and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, I think that that bass line is just very catchy. And I don't know. Yeah, I do like it. I do like it. I've heard a lot of people talk about the Animals, how influential they were And but yeah, this is the British invasion. You know, this is like the start of like the that changed everything basically. So yeah, really cool to experience. Thank you so much. Another history lesson here, literally.
Young and pretty, and one thing I know is true, yeah, you'll be dead before your time is due. Know it. Watch my daddy in bed at time. Watch his hair been a turning gray. Yeah. He's been working and slaving his life away. I know he's been working so hard. I've been working too, baby. Every day, baby. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. Somewhere, baby. Somehow I know it, baby. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. Believe me, baby. I know it, baby. You know it too.
Yeah. Awesome. Really cool. Like, that's just the dilemma. I always say it. Like, I wish that songs back in the day were longer, but I totally get it. It was designed this way to get radio play. And even, like, you know, bands like the Beatles would basically stick to the same format 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. There's literally 3 songs that are almost the same length, 2 minutes and 47. Like, they're stretching it as long as possible. So you had to be very creative to come up with a great song that was catchy, good chorus, maybe a good bridge, maybe a little solo. Just get the message across, be interesting, and don't repeat yourself too much with the other songs on your record. So it must have been a big challenge to come up with music back in the day, because you had to be just very creative. And okay, we have this amount of time, we have to record it in this. Yeah, it's just like insane to think about nowadays, where you can, you know, or even later in the 70s, where you could just, you know, do a song that's basically an entire side of the record, right? 28 minutes, 25 minutes, and now there's songs that are 40 minutes long, you know. So yeah, it's just times have changed, but that's why you get into the song and then it's over, you know. So that's why I guess they also invented the repeat button. But yeah, so this was very cool. I did like it. Like I said, it reminded me a bit of The Doors, and but very cool. You can just see that we're brewing something here. Now, let's get, we're going to switch over to the Zombies. This is even a bit shorter. She's Not There. So let's get into that. Here we go.
Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied. Well, no one told me about her, how many people cried. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she had tan, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. Well, no one told me about her. What could I do? Well, no one told me about her. Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she had tan, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she had tan, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there.
Yeah. Yes, I mean this. I can't even pause. I'm just gonna try and get away with it. If it doesn't get blocked, let's see what happens. But I just don't feel like I can interrupt something so short. But I'm loving this. It reminds me a lot of my mom used to listen to music like this. I was the last one of three brothers, and I'm like the baby. Like I have a brother who's like 20 years, well, almost 20 years older than me, and but my mom used to listen to music like this, and I always found it very interesting. Like Iron Butterfly, Moody Blues. She got me into Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, but she would also listen to just older music, like 60s stuff. And so because I think she must have been 20 when this came out. She was born 46, so yeah, around like when is this? Yeah, so 19 when this came out. So this is her music, this is when she was a teenager. So that's like the stuff that she would, listen to sometimes. And I would never really ask, was just like go with it. But then also, of course, she would listen to other stuff. But yeah, this is really good. I'm loving this. Really, really cool. And it does remind me of like, I don't know, that soundtrack, the Forrest Gump soundtrack, because I guess it is in the 60s and 70s. But yeah, really, really cool. I'll try to at the end of this, because I think this is going to be a very short marathon time wise, and just to give credit, to SIDECAR, because he's so supportive of the channel. I wanted to include one more. I'm going to think about one last one. I think I know one that I just don't know if it's a British invasion track, but I will check before we're done. I've always wanted to cover this. It's a very haunting song that my mom actually explained to me what it meant, because I didn't speak any English when I heard it, and I was so shocked when I heard this. But I will talk about this a little bit later. So now we're going to go with Lulu, To Sir With Love, from the album To Sir With Love. Here we go.
Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and biting nails are gone, but in my mind I know they will still live on and on. But how do you thank someone who has taken you from crayons to perfume? It isn't easy, but I'll try. If you wanted the sky, I would ride
Very cool, man. Such a cool bass line and great singing. The violins. I don't know. I think she had like a quartet in within the band. So cool. And I did look her up because she did have like a very American accent. All these bands sound very American for being from Britain. So I wanted to make sure. So she's actually from Scotland, and she sounds very like very American, which is almost, I don't know. I've always said this also with Elton John. When he sings, he almost sounds like Southern, like like a Southern accent, but he's from England, so it's kind of weird. Like how they maybe that did it on purpose, for the audience. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they didn't want to sound too British. I don't know, but it's just an observation I'm making. This was a great song, and I also looked up the zombies and the animals right now just to make sure. Now, the song I wanted to play you guys was from this band here. Oh, I deleted it. Here we go. They're called Sager and Evans. Now, these are Americans, so I don't want to, this is a British invasion marathon, so we're not going to do this. I'm going to look at the end of the marathon for a song that was your typical British invasion song, and I'll add that to the list. But for now, we're going to go with Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Daughter. Here we go.
Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
Oh, more English here.
Girls as sharp as her are something rare. But it's sad, she doesn't love me now. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to pine. She wants to return those things I bought her. Tell her she can.
Okay, here I'm gonna pause. So he does sound British. Bought her. I love it, man. Really, really cool.
Tell her she can keep them just the same. Things have changed. She doesn't love me now. She's made it clear enough, it ain't no good to pine. Walking about, even in a crowd, well, you'll pick her out. Makes a bloke feel so proud if she finds that I've been round to see you. Tell her that I'm well and feeling fine. Don't let on. Don't say she's broke my heart. I'd go down on my knees, but it's no good to pine. Walking about, even in a crowd, well, you pick her out. Makes a bloke feel so proud if she finds that I've been round to see you. Tell her that I'm well and feeling fine. Don't let on. Don't say she's broke my heart. I'd go down on my knees, but it's no good to pine. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
Very cool. Very cool. Like almost more like on the acoustic side. I mean, it was a guitar, but very clean and yeah, very nice tune. Very cool. And I got that whole like being in a diner, on your first dates, and I don't know, it's displayed in so many movies, like American Graffiti. I guess the music is different. Maybe it's not British Invasion, I don't know, but it's just like, you get that, high school kids, or hanging out, with their cars, and at the diner, and having their dates, and just really cool. It's just a cool era. I get that with the whole ba-da-bum, ba-da-da, the backing vocals. It just has this feel of this time of the 60s, and it sounded actually more from the 50s. This was 66 though. It had just a very older, like 50s vibe from like these movies, like we just watched, Alexia and I, we just watched The Outsiders, which is, I guess, during the 60s as well. But it had this, like, where you could buy a Coke for like 20 cents and stuff, and go hang out at the drive-in. And like that feeling is so cool. Must have been a great time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've also had a great time when I was younger. We would just listening to different music, but we also had our, going out and doing our stuff, and but it's just a great time. It was just displayed so nicely in films, and I guess you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. You were there. But okay, so now we're gonna close it off. Well, for now, it's not the last one. I'm gonna do one more. We're gonna do Downtown by Petula Clark. And then we're going to do a last song, because I do feel it's a little on the short side. And I know you only do 5 songs usually, but in this case, it is a bit on the short side. And I do want to give, also credit where credit is due. And SIDECAR has always been very, very supportive. So I do want to show a little bit. I want to give back as well, right? So I'm going to look for a really cool song after a little break for about a second. But I will look for another song. But first, we're going to do Downtown, and then we're going to do one more. Okay, here we go.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got worries, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know. Downtown, just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose? The lights are much brighter there. You can't forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. No finer place for sure, downtown. Everything's waiting for you.
Man, what a beautiful song. I've heard this before. I'm a huge fan of well, I can't really say I'm a huge fan. I just enjoyed this movie very, very much, called Girl Interrupted. And they sing it out throughout this movie. This song is being sung by just the people living in this. It's almost like a little bit like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but just girls. And Winona Ryder is the main character. And I think this song is being played throughout the movie. I've never really listened to it like this, but the downtown, I recognize. Really beautiful. Really awesome.
Don't hang around and let your problems surround you. There are movie shows downtown. Maybe you know some little places to go to where they never close. Downtown, just listen to the rhythm of a gentle bossa nova. You'll be dancing with them too before the night is over. much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown, where all the lights are bright. Downtown, waiting for you tonight. Downtown, you're gonna be alright now. Downtown, and you may find somebody kind to help and understand you. Someone who is just like you and needs a gentle hand to guide them along. So maybe I'll see you there. We can forget all our troubles, forget all our cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. Don't wait a minute more. Downtown, everything's waiting for you. Downtown,
Wow, this was amazing, this song. Just the arrangement, like it had so many layers in just 3 minutes. The whole like da 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 da, and then da 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 dee da 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 da, just like the build, and then ba ba, the chorus, and man, it was just building up, and then the trumpets, bah, like backup vocals, beautiful, the build up, and then oh man, what a great tune! Just like repeat, repeat, repeat. This was my favorite one. I'm sorry, but yeah, and I think I just heard. I guess, I don't know. They play 15 seconds in movies, or 20, if you're lucky. I don't know, but this was great. This was definitely my favorite. But we're going to do one more. Just give me a couple of minutes. It's only going to be a second for you. I'm going to do some research of a great tune we could react to. One moment. All right, and I'm back. And I just typed in Google, best British invasion songs. And a lot of the ones that SIDECAR chose were on there. But I got this one from the Yardbirds. I'm going to do the Yardbirds and their album... give me 1 second. I'm gonna do the song Heart Full of Gold. That's a big one. And it says here that this was their first single. It says Heart Full of Soul is a song recorded by English rock group The Yardbirds in 1965, written by Graham Gouldman. It was the Yardbirds' first single after Jeff Beck replaced Eric Clapton as lead guitar. So this is kind of cool also with Jeff Beck. And what is the album called here? Heart Full of Soul. And this is a single, but it's a B-side. Seated Blues. Doesn't say. I guess it. I mean, it is a single, but it must have been on an album. Well, I'll figure it out. I'll put it in the description. But yeah, let's listen to the song. It's also on the shorter side. It's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but it's really a one. I mean, the one with the most. Not really with the most listens, but pretty up there. So let's go with that one, the Yardbirds, Heart Full of Soul. Here we go.
Sick at heart and lonely, deep in dark despair. Where is she? Tell me where. And if she had me back again, well, I would never make her sad. I got a heart full of soul.
Very cool.
And I know if she had me back again, well, I would never make her sad. I got a heart full of soul. She's been gone such a long time, longer than I can bear. But if she says she wants me, tell her that I'll be there. And if she says to you she don't love me, just give her my message, tell her of my plea. And I know, well, if she had me back again, well, I would never make her sad. I got a heart full of soul.
Very cool. Very interesting theme here. I mean, it almost had like this cowboy vibe from the spaghetti westerns, westerns. It, like the whole like the scale that the guitar was playing. It has like this Italio spaghetti western Ennio Morricone style, even the backup vocals and the whole chord progression. It had like this gallopy feeling when they were playing the rhythm. Really cool. And I've always heard the Yardbirds, and never checked them out. So yeah, I finally heard them. So that's kind of cool. A very young Jeff Beck on the guitar, really cool. And I don't know, I think even Jimmy Page was in this band, and then Eric Clapton. I'm not sure, because there were, I think, different Yardbirds lineups with all these amazing guitar players. But this was great. British Invasion all the way, and I can't even I mean, I'm sure that what the Beatles did, that was like over the top when they came to the States and their music arrived. That must have been insane. But because they were, I'm sure, a huge part of the British invasion into the US. But yeah, also talking about American bands, I think Alexa and I were gonna get into the Beach Boys, just, you know, to get you like a heads up. I think we're gonna do a full album. I got a recommendation, but we're gonna make a poll. It's gonna be a poll, so you guys can decide which full album we're gonna do next on the Patreon. But it looks like we're gonna do between that one and some other ideas. But this was great. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this. If you're still here, thank you for your support, of course, for your love, for your comments. SIDECAR, thank you so much for, you know, choosing this marathon. I know it's very difficult to choose, you know, the correct songs, and, you know, but it's all appreciated. Thank you so much, everyone, for being there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.